You remember when this young man walked into a church in South Carolina and killed those people in Bible study?
Yeah.
Remember? I don't know about you, but I'm in Oklahoma City. I'm a long ways from there. But when I went into places like Walmart or places, other kind of places, I got reaction from people, I guess because I'm Black. You know, I can't pass for white no matter what I do. And people would respond to me about the forgiveness of people were simply, I was astounded by it. But lost people are astounded by the forgiveness in that event. That's what the Lord was telling me when he told me to write and encourage Black people to forgive, because it created an impact in the person that we forgive. Because, if somebody does something to you, they're expecting a fight, at least an argument. But when you forgive, they don't know how to react to that. They don't know how to deal with it. The world sees that and they question, what's going on? Is this guy, is he a mental patient? The reason he doesn't want to fight back? What's going on? That's the impact of, I think, what we have, what God has given us. Because it all has an impact down the line. It's not just for Christians, it's for the world to see.
On that website, there's in that manifesto that they have, there's a statement of forgiveness, and Dr. Green talked about some events that they had with Native Americans, African Americans, and whites, and had come together, and they had demonstrated, made statements of forgiveness. And it was a Native American group he mentioned that welcomed the African Americans to the continent, and in the process, and some other things happened. I can't remember exactly, but the essence of it was forgiveness. And I am totally convinced that two of the most powerful tools that we have is unconditional forgiveness and unconditional love. They're the two tools that God used to reconcile humanity to himself. Jesus Christ forgave us on behalf of the Father, and every time we take communion, he forgives us as a result of his love for us. And if we ever, as new creations, learn how to apply these two principles, they're going to be very strategic, and us being the ambassadors of reconciliation that God would have us to be. I was sharing with my church just had a meeting with two white pastors yesterday that want us to have a meeting, have our church to come to their church. My pastor is going to preach, and our choirs are going to be mixed. And I was sharing with him, I said, Dave, I know what the history of whites is and what they did to Blacks. I said, I know what was done. I said, you know what was done. I said, but I cannot allow you to walk around with the guilt and shame of that and drown in the guilt and shame, because I have a resource. I have the ability to totally and unconditionally forgive your ancestors for what was done, so that you and I can now begin to deal with the issues that keep us separated. And they're the tools that we have. And now they've made a move. They invited 20 members of our church to come to a conference that the Presbyterians were sponsoring, dealing with race in the church. And after that conference, they said, we want to have a joint service. And that was because of our ability to demonstrate unconditional forgiveness. And we have to learn to apply those principles. If we don't, it's not going to work.